to day 5 of our study of the book of 1 Samuel. The huge latter portion of the 1 Samuel talks about how David runs and Saul pursues him. It's like a Tom and Jerry thing, except it's tragic, except it's real, except it's terrible. Why is it terrible? Because David does not want to fight back. David loves his king. For him, Saul is still the anointed king of God. He still honors him, he still respects him, he served him, he worked for him. He does not want to harm Saul, but Saul wants desperately to harm him. It's so sad to see a story, kind of relationship, where one person loves and adores and respects another, but that person who does not deserve the love and respect and adoration actually throws away everything and still tries to harm the person who loves him. I will read from 1 Samuel chapter 24. When Saul returned from following the Philistines, he was told, "Behold, David is in the wilderness of En-Gedi." Then Saul took 3,000 chosen men out of all Israel and went to seek David and his men in front of the wild goats' rocks. And he came to the sheepfolds by the way, where there was a cave, and Saul went in to relieve himself. Now David and his men were sitting in the innermost parts of the cave. Verse 4, and the men of David said to him, "Here is the day of which the Lord said to you, Behold, I will give your enemy into your hand, and you shall do to him as it shall seem good to you." Then David arose and stealthily cut off a corner of Saul's robe. And afterward, David's heart struck him, because he had cut off a corner of Saul's robe. He felt guilty by just cutting a corner of the robe. Can you imagine the goodness of David's heart? He said to his men, "The Lord forbid that I should do this thing to my Lord, the Lord's anointed, to put out my hand against him, seeing he is the Lord's anointed." I will not do it. This man is the Lord's anointed. Whether he's my enemy or not, he is the Lord's anointed. So David persuaded his men with his words and did not permit them to attack Saul. And Saul rose up and left the cave and went on his way. Afterward, David also arose and went out of the cave and called after Saul, "My Lord, the king!" And when Saul looked behind him, David bowed with his face to the earth and paid homage. And David said to Saul, "Why do you listen to the words of men who say, Behold, David seeks you harm? Behold, this day your eyes have seen how the Lord gave you today into my hand in the cave. And some told me to kill you, but I spared you. I said, I will not put out my hand against my Lord, for he is the Lord's anointed. See, my father, see the corner of your robe in my hand. For by the fact that I cut off the corner of your robe and did not kill you, you may know and see that there is no wrong or treason in my hands. I have not sinned against you, though you hunt my life to take it. May the Lord judge between me and you. May the Lord avenge me against you, but my hand shall not be against you." And you know, this sad thing, at that time, Saul will release David. And David will go on. But the tragic thing is, this will happen again. Saul will change his mind. He will listen to whispers of others, and he will chase David again. And it's just sad because up to the very end, until such time, because there will be another instance when David will spare Saul's life again. The incident that happened in the cave, it will happen again. And for a moment, Saul will believe, but in the end, he will chase David again. For the rest of the book of Samuel, David will still be on the run. Think of this. The Lord's anointed, the one anointed by Samuel to be king, spent the rest of the chapters of 1 Samuel on the run, running for his own life, moving from here and there, even going to a foreign country. Why is it like that? Our principle for today is, trust in the Lord no matter what, and he will not be forsaken. That's what happened to David. Why did he still hold on to his love for God? Why did he still hold on to his love for Saul? It's because amidst the trials and difficulties that he's experiencing, even though he's on the run for his own life, he's still trusting in the Lord, no matter what. You know, some people today, they will believe the Lord, And then when one bad thing happens to them, they will say, "What kind of God are you? You will allow me to experience this bad thing? I will lose my job. I will lose my loved one. Someone in my family will die. Someone in my family will get sick. What kind of God are you?" But David is not like that. No matter what, he trusted in the Lord. And because of that, God did not forsake him. Throughout those times, his heart, his character was molded. He's fit to be a king. And it came to a point, chapter 31, when Saul died. Let's remember to have the kind of heart that David had. A heart that trusts in the Lord no matter what. No matter the difficulties and no matter the trials.